people, or is it for personal gain? Number two, who are the young leaders that can be trusted to never betray the NDR after the ANC has abandoned the mission? And then thirdly, on the Afrikaner question, should they get self-determination, and what would they need to do to attain that?
Okay, I think that was the last question.
This is Shamalo Baloy from Urban Entertainment.
I was about to ask who are you? I've noted two hands, and as principles as I am, I'm going to keep it as such. So I'll allow the leadership to respond, then we'll, as we wrap up. What's the mic?
Oh, you want me to answer this?
Yeah, so respond to these two questions.
Yeah.
Did you capture?
Yes. Yeah, I did. Thanks, Chair. The first one from Madam Guardian. Yes, we will be working with the EFF, and it was announced. But it's not only the EFF. We have said in the President's statement that we have forged alliances or working relationship with all the progressive political parties. Specifically, we said those that are on the left. And we've maybe to take it further, we're clear that we will not work with the DA because they don't represent any element of progressive element that help to change the plight of a black child. It's not only the EFF, there are 109 others. 109 seats in Parliament that we are working with. Among them, EFF, UDM, ATM, PAC, Al-Jamaa, and. So that is number one. And we're hoping to cement this relationship and consolidate it inside and outside of Parliament. I think as part of the statement, you will note that we said the President, after he has met these parties, develop a program. We'll announce that program that seeks to consolidate our people, to make sure that we capture the 6 million voters that we could not capture in these elections, even though we were robbed. So that is an ongoing work. Part of the team that is here in front are part of these political parties that we are working with. We further outline that we will be having what we call a patriotic front of all these progressive parties as part of our work going forward. The second one is what you call the abandonment of the National Democratic Revolution. Was that the question? I think we subscribe to the notion of the National Democratic Revolution. But we also are specific to say the motive forces of the revolution are blacks. And we are very clear in saying those people that are black are those that were disenfranchised by apartheid and colonialism. And therefore, as part of our work, we will consolidate. And we are clear in saying the ANC have abandoned it. Hence, we have categorized the relationship between the ANC and the DA as a moonpeg shot, aimed at benefiting the leaders of the ANC, not necessarily poor South Africans that still look for a true liberation in terms of the financial and economic freedom. And therefore we can clearly say the ANC has lost its title as a leader of progressive black political parties until people within the ANC are able to stand up and lead the ANC of this rot and elements that have sold the revolution to the white establishment, in particular the Stellenbosch. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think that there are two things that the President emphasized or he spoke about. The objectivity of the media, and what you have we are also reminded of our not too distant apartheid colonialism memory. That indeed we are now reliving the trauma of apartheid. And the media ought to play a role in objectively reporting to the nation. But also to say, Happy Father's Day to the father of the nation. We really appreciate you, Baba. The nation believes in you. We will just give the President his closing remarks. Then we will wrap up.
No, thank you, Patrosel. Thank you very much indeed. My flu is a bit of a problem. I'm going to tell that. No, thank you for the opportunity. I had wanted to really ask the journalists questions. Mind you, some people stopped me and said it is not gentlemanly to do so because they are also lady journalists. No, I am very worried. I think these elections have caused more worries to some of us. Because South Africa is a country that has a history that put many of us into serious issues when apartheid laws were the laws. Even if we were doing the right thing, we were sentenced to prison, we had done everything. We fought to go over this. Then we got freedom. Even when we were discussing the point I was making earlier, that we're very careful that we should not act in the manner that will make us continue fighting. We wanted to finish fighting. Hence, the government of national unity, which worked. We were a country that came from, it was not just a country within a democracy. It was a country of apartheid. And I've never heard in other countries in the world that there was a country that ruled through a system called apartheid. And we wanted to practice democracy, freedom, equality, everything. Down the line, 30 years into our democracy, or into our freedom, I shouldn't say democracy, into our freedom, we reach a point where, for the first time, there is elections that have such problems for the first time, that it was not easy to hide things that people were doing in order to ensure that this party wins, that party does not, etc., etc. I asked myself when the IEC, when complaints were brought by a big number of political parties when they were saying, here are our complaints. And as soon as this was said, the IEC immediately organized you guys to send a message that that would never happen. We are doing it tomorrow, come what may. Is that democracy? Is how we deal with our people in a democratic country. The IEC has a right to veto us as political parties who participated, who are not happy, who say the elections were not free and fair. By that time, a number of boxes packed with the things we use when we vote. What we call them?
Papers.
Ballot papers. Many of them in many different areas. Many different areas. In democratic countries, the media is the first to point at the wrong things and point very seriously. Why were you guys so silent? Because this looks like a very common thing. There are things that are in the media more than others. Others, very serious, are not in the media. For an example, when the IEC leader said, we are going on, when we had already asked them not to rush until we deal with what we call problems. Why were you so quiet, guys? Because we who are generally on the receiving side notice these things. That we are very quick when some of us have been saying, wow. Because in some places, the media helps to ensure that democracy, no matter who, is respected, exercised. But in South Africa, it is the other way around. Some of us, even if you just coughed, it's a big story. That Zuma coughed in front of the people. Big news. I don't think when courts, for an example, you bring your case, they don't even look at it. They say, sorry, you can't even take it. Because it is our right as citizens. Here, the IEC is where it is because it is employed by us, the country, to help counting and doing it correctly. That's how it is. They are not our bosses to tell us what to do, what not to do. Theirs is to count our votes with the citizens. And if we believe there is something wrong, it is our right that we tell them, and they must act and solve that problem before they announce that this is yet. And you can imagine this time around, I'm sure the word that is normally used, these elections were free and fair. I'm not sure whether they did say it. Did they? And the media, what did it say? Did they see what was happening in the media? No. The stealing of boxes and all? No. Why did they keep quiet? Why? Now, I'm making these points because I want to tell you, we fought and got our democracy. There's no longer any democracy in South Africa. I am an example. I went into prison when I never committed any crime. I served in apartheid. At least the apartheid in their laws and constitution, I had committed crime, and I disagreed with them even there. And they sentenced me 10 years. Under democracy, I served 15 months, having committed no crime, having been no court that dealt with me. If we don't notice that South Africa is moving back to, what do you call it, by the way? What is another word of such government? Dictatorship. Dictatorship of those who have the money. Dictatorship. Are we ready to stand for this and just keep quiet, we who can write or talk to the newspapers, whatever? Now, where have you ever heard that such a big member of political parties, not one, not Umkondo Isizo that people don't like, the whole big group of political parties all complaining simultaneously that we are robbed here, we want this to be looked at, and people who are supposed to be helping us, I see, say sorry, we're not doing it. People who are supposed to be looking at the law and the respect of the law in the country, the judges are there, making people to, what is it,
take an oath.
Take an oath. When they know that there are complaints, they are supposed to be looking after our democracy. Now, nobody, for an example, I'm not sure whether I've had, maybe at times I don't read the newspapers, because who has raised the issue about the number of political parties who are not happy with the decision of the IEC? Who? Is that not a story to write? Are you part of the democratic country? Because democracy does not allow such things. I'm not asking you questions because you said we are not supposed to be asked questions. I don't know why. Because we are also human beings like us. Nah, sengibuzi. Yeah. Sengibuzi mba pendula.
For 2 hours.
I mean, you have elections ongoing. Suddenly, the machines have crashed. There's been no investigation from real what to call it?
Investigating.
Investigating Terrorism. Because you guys, you terrorize us. You terrorize us. Other people don't terrorize. Now, I'm saying this because I want to put it into our mind. Be fair. Deal with the issues with anyone on the equal basis. Very important. Now, I want to say we are slowly moving towards a situation. There are people in South Africa, if they commit no crime, but they get charged, everything happens. We have an example of a leader of a party this side. What is it? It's called, what is your name, by the way? I'm saying this because we are here, and I thought I should not lose this opportunity. He was charged of not having looked after the people he was in charge of.
Oversight.
Yeah, it's called oversight, but that's what it is in Sisulu. Now, the man was waiting to be charged and the trial going on, whatever. Then you have a head of state whose home is found with the mattress full of money. Even his organization does not chase him out, but they chase a man without being found guilty or any evidence. That's how you guys report. And you make it easy. The judges says, no, the man, there's no wrongdoing. Yeah. But everybody who keeps the money above what is, he gets charged, arrested. But others, we have got a democracy that has eyes. There are people they see when they commit, even if they didn't. There are those they don't see, even if they commit crimes. I'm making this point because we are sitting here today. We ought not to be here. IEC should have taken our complaints, which are very heavy and serious. They decide not to do it. In our country, we can do it, no problem. In democratic countries, we cannot do it. Where is democracy? We who fought for democracy feel strong about it. Because we suffered. We went to prison, we went to exile, we were called all names. I don't see why you know exactly what has happened to these elections. Very little reporting about it. That's not democracy. Democracy says no one must do something wrong and be left because of her positions or of her money or whatever. That's not democracy. Now we've got it to go, and I want to tell you what our legal person was telling you this time around. They wanted to know this. The judges here who make judgments according to their thinking, not about what are the facts, they are likely to say this is all wrong. We are going to the international court so that this country does not have the South African judges doing so. Judges who get angry and sentence you because they hate you. We are going to the judges that look at things, look at issues. We are going there. It's fine that people are in government now, and I hope they did not commit anything wrong, because we are going to dig and dig and dig until the truth comes through. We do need to be respected as political parties. cannot, as a country, have so many political parties saying things did not go wrong. Things do not go wrong. Things went wrong. Things went wrong. Some people say, no, things did not go wrong. Did not go wrong. Now, when I asked on time, those who handle our votes, I see, don't rush. Because I was giving them a space so that we deal with these complaints until we have final things. Nobody says, I don't accept your complaints. Where do they get that power from? Now, if we have us here, as political parties, saying one thing, it's not even one party or two or three, the majority of the parties, and we are nothing. We are nothing, because and people who are being accused to do something, no, they're clean. I think we need to change. Because when I said there, if you don't accept our proposal to you, you would be provoking people. You would be provoking people. I said so. There's no one who wants to be undermined by people who are supposed to be helping. Where must they go? And somebody said Zuma is causing a problem. Not at all. Because people, even if you look at whatever else, democracy, protesting, doing everything around that is constitutional. Because if you provoke people, they're going to protest. They're going to do everything in seeing that things are done correctly. But many of you, or some of you, I shouldn't say many, some of you, Zuma is provoking violence. Is that violence to protest? No. Why do you run and say Zuma is provoking problems which would lead to violence? I don't like this. You know, I was arrested and I voluntarily went into prison. And people decided to say this is wrong, and they were correct. Because I was being taken to prison when I had no case. And those who are in power, instead of dealing with the situation, they actually provoked it by sending the army of police to come and pick up one old man. The whole army from all over. And we didn't say anything. In fact, I was in prison, maybe I didn't read any article from those who are writing to say this is wrong. I think we should correct ourselves if we want our democracy to be a real democracy. You must play your role as we play our role. I'm saying all of this because we are so many here. We are likely to get more criticisms than understanding what you're saying, because of reasons not known by anyone. I have a right as an old man to deal with you.
That's good.
No, Chair, I just wanted to make this point because we are reaching a point in South Africa that can take us just beyond what we need. Because all of us, the media included, we have a right to ensure that you stop wrong things in this country, so that this country becomes a peaceful country. We are together as the parties that are making the complaints. And bear in mind, and it's not again, it's the first thing you see since the freedom, that political parties come together dissatisfied by how those who are given jobs to do have done it. That in itself must tell you there is something serious. We can't poo-poo it and begin and believe that there's no problem because we are going to keep quiet. No. Let us see the votes properly. We've got many stories about votes, some banned. You don't even need this what people love to say. There must be a repeat. No. There must be an elections. Not any other thing. No IC must dictate on us. They count us, they count our votes. They are paid for that. Out of our money.